Hello and welcome. This is Stephen Violi from the Psychology Webinar Group, and tonight we have Michelle Olathe from the University, who's a PhD candidate of the University of Western Australia. She specialises in sleep, in particular sleep apnea, but we are talking about something a little different tonight. We will delve in a little bit into the apnea maybe. But this is about the consequences of poor sleep hygiene. It's a very important subject because we all do it every day, and we should all do it every day. And if I can go to the next slide, that's me. I'm always open to suggestions or anything that anyone would like to see on the Psychology Webinar Group. Next, we have Michelle, who I just explained. I'll quickly read this out. Prior to joining the University of Western Australia as a PhD student, Michelle completed her Bachelor's with Honours in Psychology and worked as a sleep technician at the Mount Hospital. Since 2010, Michelle has been collaborating with Professor Romola Bucks and Winthrop Professor Peter Eastwood. Furthermore, Michelle is employed as a lecturer at the University of UWA in the capacity of a lab coordinator for first year psychology, and apparently she also has a lot of tomato plants in her backyard.
Something to do when I'm home.
I'm sure she gets lots of sleep at night. Welcome, Michelle. How are you going?
Good, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on, Steve. It's such an honour to be able to come and talk to everyone.
No, it's a pleasure to get someone of your knowledge and calibre to come on. And yes, what were you going to say?
That's so lovely. Thank you.
Now, would you like to take us into the presentation? I'll just go to the next slide.
Sure.
Yeah, would you like to take us into the presentation?
I would love to. Okay, so first of all, just a disclaimer to say that I'm not a medical doctor, I am a researcher. So everything that I'll be presenting today will be information, and if you want to take any of these steps further, please always consult your GP before trying any treatment. Next slide, please.
If my mouse works, I'll do it. No worries.
So the overview of the talk today is that I'm going to talk to you about what sleep is, because I think a lot of people don't quite have, I mean, they know we all do it, but I think some people don't understand the mechanisms and the biology behind it. What is aging? And how does sleep change as we age? Because sleep actually changes as we age. I'm going to ask the question, is sleep changing as we age a bad thing? Because we get a lot of people self-reporting that as they age, their sleep tends to get worse. But we're wondering if this actually is a normal thing, and we'll look at that later. Also, I will try and look at what to do if you're worried about your sleep and give you some sleep hygiene tips, because a lot of our sleep health and our sleep quality actually comes from our habits and the environment in which we sleep. Next slide, please, Steve. Thank you. So the questions we will address is, how does sleep change as we age? Do we need less sleep as we get older? Can a person expect to experience more sleep problems or have a sleep disorder as they advance in age? And what can we do to get good sleep? So now that we've all got a feel for how the talk's going to go, we'll get into it. So first of all, what is sleep? Sleep is an absolutely vital function. However, it seems to also be one of the first things that goes out of our routine when we're busy. We need, as adults, about 7 to 8 hours, although there are some individual differences. But however, a lot of adults, it's shown, seem to get about 5 to 6 hours sleep, which is generally not sufficient. Next slide, please. Sleep is a basic human right, whether it's recognised or not, and it is as crucial to health and well-being and social functioning as sleeping and socialising and drinking water. You will actually die from a lack of sleep quicker than you will die from starvation. There's quite a bit of research done, mostly with rats, showing that sleep and your general health and well-being will decrease if you haven't got enough sleep. There's a really, really interesting study done with a gentleman quite a while ago called Randy, I think his name was, And what he did was he tried to go without sleep for the longest period of time. He went for quite a few days, but after those days, he actually started hallucinating and believing that he was a famous football player, and started to hear voices and things like that. So after a few days, he started to not be very well mentally.